Okay, last problem. Finally, a parabolubida. We're given x squared minus 10x plus 4y plus 21 equals 0. And we want to factor the equation and write it in conic form. So notice x is the thing that is squared. So let's get the x stuff by itself. X squared minus 10x. Let's move everything else over. So minus 4y minus 21 right there. Now we need to complete the square. So x squared minus 10x. Half of 10 is 5, squared is 25, so that will give us a perfect square equals negative 4y minus 21 plus 25. Add it to both sides to keep it balanced. So on the left, we have x minus 5 quantity squared, if we factor that perfect square, equals negative 4y minus 21 plus 25 is plus 4. So factor it, we get our conic equation x minus 5 squared equals negative 4 times y minus 1. So there is our conic equation. And now we want to sketch the graph, plotting the focus, showing the directrix, and showing at least 3 points on the graph. So what I need to know is I need to know that the coefficient in front of the linear term is always in the form of 4p. So 4p has to equal negative 4, which then means p has to equal negative 1. Why is that important? P tells you how to get from the vertex to the focus. So let's sketch a graph of this. I know my center is at an x value of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know my y value my y value of my vertex is at positive 1. So positive 1 right there. So there's my vertex. My p-value is negative 1, which tells me go down 1 to get to your focus. So go down 1. And I know it's down versus left because x is the squared term. And that's like a normal parabola where x is squared, right? That's what you learned in middle school. Y equals x squared is a parabola. So there's my focus, which means my directrix is 1 in the other direction. So it's up here at a y value of 2. So its equation is y equals 2 right there. Now, how do I show my other 2 points? I've got my vertex there plotted, but now I need to use the focus, and I need to use the length of my latus rectum, which is 4. That tells me that centered on my focus, I will have a line of length 4. So I know 2 to the left, and I know 2 to the right. Right there will also be on my parabola. And now I can sketch this thing in like that. So I've got it graphed, I've shown my focus, I've shown my vertex, I've shown 3 points, I've shown my directrix, and so B is satisfied. Now on C, I want to write an integral that represents the area of the region bounded between the x-axis and the parabola. If it's bounded between the x-axis and the parabola, it means I want this area right there. Now notice that area runs from an x value of 3 to an x value of 4, 5, 6, 7. Right there. So I know that my bounds of integration are going to go from the x value of 3 to the x value of 7. Now, what I need to do, though, is I need to take this original equation and I need to solve it for y, because that's how we integrate with respect to x. We solve for y, so now we have only x terms and constant terms in our expression. So let's solve this for y. So I need to add the 10x over. I'll need to subtract the x squared. I will need to subtract the 21. So I'll get 4y equals negative x squared plus 10x minus 21. But I don't want 4y, I want y. So y equals 1/4 times x squared plus 10x minus 21. I just wrote that as a coefficient of 1/4 on that entire expression there. That's a nice little way to do that. So let's write this integral then by writing that expression right there, the integral of that equation of y, and we're integrating that with respect to x. We are going from the x value of 3 to the x value of 7. So that is my proper integral right there. And now in D, we want to actually calculate that area. But what's nice is that calculators are allowed for this problem. So all we have to do is type this expression in, which is no problem on our calculator. Hit the math button right there. Hit that math button. Option 9 says fin int. Fin int. That's what we want. If you're on a new calculator, it will give you something that looks like this. Box, like that, parenthesis, box, D, box, like that. And you need to fill in the pieces. So put a 3 in that box, just like that 3. Put a 7 in that box, just like that 7 right there. Type in this whole equation right there into this box right here. And then in that last box, we need that x, dx, telling it the variable we're using right there. So if you type it in like that and hit enter, you will get your answer of 55.3 repeating. And that is the area between the graph and the x-axis, just like that. So you have it. You're finished. If you're on an older calculator, you need to do it a little bit differently. You get it in the same way, fin int, but all it gives you is that parenthesis right there. The very first thing you need to tell it is the function. So you need to type your function right there. Then you need to do a comma. Comma is that button right there. And then you need to tell it that x is the variable, and then do a comma, and then tell it the lower bound of 3, comma, the upper bound of 7, and then hit enter, and you should get the same 55.3 repeating. Either way, you got your answer, and we good. Good luck on the quiz. Good luck studying.